Scorpio. No, 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 no. Who do you think you're fooling? After this video, some of y'all are going to try to sting me. I'm telling you right now. But guess what? You ain't going to do nothing to me that I won't allow, right? So, you love me, you hate me, do whatever. But I'm here to tell you the truth. If you love me, you love me. If you hate me, you hate me. I'm not here for you to love me. I'm here for you to tell you the truth. And that's what it's going to be about. So, welcome everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot, astrology, mediumship, energy work, all kinds of stuff, hypnotherapy to help you on your path. So, Scorpio, this is going to be a great video if you can keep your heart and your mind and your soul open. But if at any point you feel like it's just too much, I would turn it off. I really would, because I've been in your energy for the last couple of days trying to figure out how I was going to tell you this, because I always want it to come from love and understanding and guidance. But some of y'all think you're fooling me, and you're not. You're not. I'm not talking about everybody, because not everybody's on the same phase. Not everybody's got different aspects. But some of y'all need to wake the heck up, because that's why you're here. Y'all gonna be having me cussing on this video. All right. So there is this space for you that you understand that you're very intense, and you understand that people can't always take you, and you understand that. But guess what? It's time for you, which tells me here and here, for you to be speaking your truth. And if people can't handle it, oh well. We have a saying in Texas: get over it, get under it, get through it, but get to it. Okay? And that's how you need to be living your life. For too long, you've gotten in the habit of turning the other cheek, or looking the other way, or not saying what you really feel because you're going to hurt somebody. But guess what? You've done that for so long, you've gotten yourself into such a big mess, some of you, that you don't even know where to begin. And you hear me, and you come and you watch these videos, and you watch other videos, and you're listening, but you're not doing. You're not doing. And guess what? This North Node right here, the North Node is like, we'll stay here all day, every day till you get it, right? That North Node ain't moving. It's in retrograde too. It's not moving very fast. It ain't going anywhere. These planets up here, they ain't going anywhere for a while. This right here, it's not going anywhere. These are all retrograded. And you got all this stuff that you need to be contending with, and you are like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's good. And you're not doing it. You're not doing it. And then you complain about it. That's one thing I don't like in people. If you know that you should be moving, and you know that you should, and I'm not saying I don't like people, I'm saying I don't like this characteristic, and you know you should be doing, but you're over here, yes ma'am, and yes ma'am, yes ma'am, I know, and then you're not doing it, but then you're going to complain about it. No. So again, this is coming from love. I'm going to explain. I'm not going to go too deep. I've decided what I want to do is put videos on my website to go into the very detail about what's going on with your charts. And these videos can get very long. So all I'm going to do is highlight some things. Oh, no. See, y'all got me all upset. Okay, so let's get started. Here we go. All right, so in May, which is a beautiful, beautiful month for everyone, we have some divine guidance. We have 3 grand trines. You have manifestations coming. And luckily for y'all, you didn't even have to do the work for this. These are just gifts that are be coming to you. And I'm telling you, because you're so overwhelmed and in so much stuff. Trust me, I've been in the stuff. I go in your energy. I can see. And it's so overwhelming that you don't even know where to begin. Right? So you have 3 grand trines coming. We all do. They're wonderful, beautiful, divine guidance. These gifts that are coming, that were on your path, whether you believe it or not, whether you put energy in it or not. These were gifts and are gifts that are coming through. We have the new moon in Taurus. We have the full moon in Sagittarius. Taurus is going to be lit up. And Taurus, you have to remember, Taurus wants physical. Taurus wants tactile. Taurus wants security, comfort, all of that. Then we have the full moon in Sagittarius. That, my darlings, is in your second house. You see how the second house is empty? That's because you're supposed to be putting stuff in there. That's because you're supposed to be working on that stuff. But you can't get to it because you got this stuff over here. See? So we have that going on. Then we have Uranus. You know Uranus. Uranus likes to shock and awe. Shock and awe, shock and awe. And he's been shocking and awing, and y'all been ignoring it. Some of y'all. Now, this is some of y'all because I'm feeling like two groups. The other ones that are really working, y'all got some really, really great stuff coming. The ones that aren't working, y'all got some really great stuff coming if you would just do it. Take the action. Quit yesing everybody. Quit trying to make the peace. That's not your thing right now. Your thing right now is to learn to love you and take the steps from that to create the world that you really want, not the one that you have right now and are trying to complain about. So Uranus is leaving Aries. It's going to be moving into Taurus. It's going to be in Taurus for 7 to 8 years. So y'all are coming to a very different phase. And let me say this, it is always a choice. When you have these energies coming to you, when you have gifts coming to you, when you have relationships coming to you, it is always a choice. Whether you want to accept these and allow these, or you just want to ignore it. And when you ignore it, everybody's getting everything and you're not getting anything, and then the phase changes, and until it comes around again, you don't get those opportunities again. You'll get different opportunities. I'm not saying you won't get any opportunities. You'll just get different opportunities, but all these gifts and all these opportunities and all these things that you're supposed to be working on, you'll have to wait till the next time it comes around, right? So you don't want to do that. Right now, Uranus is in Aries. It's going to finish in Aries. It's going to move into Taurus for the next 7 to 8 years. Now, at the end of, so in March 2018 November 2018 till March 2019, it's going to retrograde back into Aries. And then it's going to go back into Taurus, right, after March 2019. So in Taurus, Uranus is going to be very, very different. It's going to be acting very different. We have all these big planets moving signs or retrograding. So it's really about working. It's really about getting this right. It's really giving you the shot. Like all of you, all of us. The universe is like, we're supporting you. We're even holding the planets for you. We're like holding that energy so that you can get this done, right? So when it moves into Uranus, and when Uranus moves into Taurus, we're coming into a time not just on a micro level, which is personally, on a macro level. You can see what Scorpio, the sign, has done to us, our society. Things are crumbling. Things are having to be restructured. That's Saturn in Capricorn. Restructuring those big things. Our society is changing. We are changing. Are we going to change with the time, or are we going to ignore it and then complain about it, right? So as Uranus moves into Taurus, we're coming into a very different time. More security, more comfort, more physicalness around us, more sensuality, more things that are tactile. So your world can really, really change, but you have to make the decisions and take the action, okay? So then again, we have that Jupiter and Scorpio for you. We've got Saturn, we've got Pluto, we've got Mars. Mars is in shadow right now. So whatever goes on this month of May, pay attention to it, because that's gonna be what's really gonna be focused on at the end of June, because Mars goes into retrograde at the end of June till the end of August. And those things that are happening right now are going to be really, really focused on at that time, because remember, all retrogrades are about reorganizing, amending, editing, completion. So you're going to complete things. Things are coming. Destiny's happening, right? So let's talk about the first grand trine. We have an Earth grand trine. So a grand trine is different than a trine in that a grand trine is like divinely guided gifts that are on your path, whether you believe it or not, whether you put energy or not, whether you even put any thought in it or not. These are things that come through. Now, because it's a grand trine, it means that, and it's a grand trine, it's an Earth grand trine, it means that something physical will come your way. Something physical, some gift, something, either a relationship, a person with a relationship, a new house, a new car, a new job, a new way. This is physical. Something physical is coming to you with this gift, but this was part of your path. This is part of what you wanted to experience, okay? So in the grand scheme of things, you have all these lessons and these things that you want to learn, but then you have these gifts that come through so that it can propel you into a different direction sometimes, right? So the second grand trine that we're going to have is a water grand trine. Beautiful water grand trine. That is your grand trine. When a grand water trine comes, it means that you will be fulfilled emotionally. So you're going to be receiving a gift that fulfills you emotionally, right? Something that you've been working on. You've been in your first house. Now, the third grand trine is a fire grand trine. So this is something that's going to propel you into passion, into engaging, into wanting to do these things, or wanting to do this thing, or wanting to experience this gift, or it's like this passion that comes from your heart in your second chakra, right? So you'll be receiving a gift in that. So when is all this happening? Well, the new moon is going to be on the 15th. So let me just go over this. This is you, Scorpio, right here. You have Jupiter. Jupiter is the guru. Jupiter is the teacher. Jupiter is in retrograde right now. So you have been really, really working, or not, on your identity, on your physicalness, on your placement in this world. Jupiter will give you gifts, but you have to learn the lesson. You have to grow. Jupiter wants to expand this house. So it can expand it in several different ways, right? It can expand it like maybe you started a workout regimen when Jupiter came in here. Maybe you started, I don't know, maybe you did a different haircut, or maybe you did, this is something physical that has to do with you, right? But it also is, if you don't pay attention and you're not looking, but you're feeling the energy of the expansion, you could be gaining weight. You could be eating and indulging and overdoing everything, because that can happen when Jupiter goes into your first house. That's why I'm telling you, I'm seeing two different sets of people, right? So you have Jupiter in here in your first house, working, understanding yourself, growing. But if you're not paying attention, all planets, all stars, all comets, all of it, all of us, all of them have different vibrations or different octaves of frequency, right? And so you either get the middle, the lower, or the finer, higher octaves, right? So at the finer, higher octave, you could be really paying attention to yourself, really loving yourself, really taking care of yourself, really doing that, and that's the higher vibration, right? The lower, the middle, that could be you're overindulging, you're being too self-indulgent, you're overdoing everything, you're not taking care of yourself, you're, you know, that could be that vibration, right? So in your this is your third house. So there is something about the way that you communicate, and we communicate all like with everything. This is either if you do media or entertainment or vlogging or blogging, or if you're an author or writing, or maybe you write, you know, in your particular field, at work, right? So this is processing too. This is processing. The third house is processing, writing, media, things like that, right? Well, you have all these planets in here, which tells me you really needed to work on, on this stuff. You have Saturn in here that wants you to work hard. Well, Saturn is like the structure, the old wise man, the one that's like, you can have these gifts, but you got to let me know you want it, and you got to work for it, because I'm going to give you way more than you even expected, but you're going to have to work for it. Then you have Pluto in here, which is transformation. This is your ruling planet, right? Pluto is your ruling planet, and Pluto wants you to transform. You know, you're used to this energy, but for some reason, some of you are ignoring this, okay? But Pluto and Saturn are going to transform you in this house, and Mars is giving you the energy to do it. Mars is giving you the drive, the ambition. But again, it's always a choice. So I'm feeling like some of you are not doing it. Like, you're saying it's the right thing to do, and you're yesing people. You're being like the yes man. You're yesing people, and it's okay, and I understand, and then you don't do it. And then you don't do it. And as the indigo part of me, that frustrates me, because I'm like, I'm sitting here telling you these things, and you're saying yes to me, and then you're complaining later, but you're not doing it, that's frustrating to me. So in your, this is your first, second, third, fourth, fifth house. This is your house of love affairs. Chiron had been in here. I'm going to do a Chiron video. This will all be on my website at yourindigopath2.com. I'm going to do a Chiron series video because it's now moved into Aries, which means whatever planet or comet when they move into a sign or a house, they have to play by the house's rules or by that sign. They have to obey that sign's rules, right? So Chiron in Pisces acts very different than Chiron in Aries. Okay, so I'm going to do a video series about that. But you have Chiron in Aries in your fifth house. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, in your sixth house. So in your sixth house of daily activities, which again, when I'm looking at your chart, I'm like, you're trying to make it where you're really saying what you want, where you're really being honest with yourself and others, where you're really loving yourself and others, and then you're not doing it. Like you're supposed to be trying to do this because of all this going over here, and then Chiron comes here, and then it gets too overwhelming, and then you won't do it. When I'm looking at this is like, this is supposed to be brought to your everyday life, your health and well-being. Some of you have a lot of health problems, and you could be with this Jupiter here. Some of you have a lot of health problems, but you're refusing to do what's needed to be done to get to a better space. Like, you know what to do. You're smart. You are extremely intelligent, Scorpio, and you are extremely intuitive, and you are extremely empathic. And for you to say, well, I'm just going to be sick. No, I won't take that. There, you know you can heal. You know you can get better. You know. And if you don't remember, look back to your childhood, because it's in there when you used to do it. Okay? But there's something about this house that's bringing forth. You've got Chiron right now, you got Mercury, and you've got Uranus. So there is shock and awe. Uranus likes to shock and awe to liberate you. If you're not looking at it, it's going to slap you in the face. It's going to slap you in the face because it needs you to move in that direction so that you can be liberated and feel better. Your poor little bodies can't take much more. And I think that's where I'm feeling the frustration, because what you know to be true, you know you should be doing, and you're not doing it. And I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about those who aren't paying attention, or who are paying attention and just refuse to do it and then are complaining about it. Okay? So then you have your seventh house. So there's some clarity coming in your seventh house. You got your eighth house, other people's money. So you may have had so Venus wants to bring love, luck, and money. So you may have something coming through in there. Maybe a court case came through, or it's coming through. Maybe you got that contract, or maybe you got that position that's going to get you more money. Remember, this is other people's money. Maybe you got accepted to the school, so you got the loan, or maybe you got the grant. Like, something is happening in this house. But for you guys, this North Node is in your 10th house. So there's something about your 10th house, your 3rd house, and your 6th house. Yeah. 5th house. Hold on. 1. I can't get this one right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. There is something about your 10th house, your 3rd house, and your 6th and 7th house, because these are moving into here. Your 6th and 7th house. There's something about your work, your home life, your health, and the way that you're speaking and the way that you're communicating, that this North Node is having you put all together. Okay? I don't want to go too deeply. I want to just go over a couple of the aspects. We have Mercury entering Taurus. So Mercury is going to enter Taurus. So that's processing over here. That's processing in your 6th house. This is, or your 7th house of relationships, of boundaries, of how people, remember, in this house, people come in and they mirror you. Well, there's some clarity coming with either the relationship with money, the relationship with a loved one, the relationship with an affair, the relationship with a marriage, the relationship with a divorce, the relationship with life. Like, something's clearing up here for you. But when Mercury comes in, you can have the clarity, but then you need to actually process it. And that's what's going to be happening in this house. Then Venus enters Cancer. So when Venus enters Cancer is when on that day that we have the grand trine. So you're going to be receiving a gift, and you may not receive it on that day because energy doesn't stop and start. It sort of melds, right? So you can receive it the day before or 2 days after. Like the energy kind of keeps flowing, right? And so that's that second grand trine. On the 15th is that first grand trine. That's that Earth grand trine. On the 29th is, so I'm sorry, on the 15th, we also, on the 19th is the second grand trine. On the 15th is when you have the new moon in Taurus. So something or someone, because this is your 7th house, someone or something is going to show up in this in the 7th house on the 15th. Yeah. When we have this Earth grand trine, someone or something is showing up, and it has to do with the way that you're communicating, and it has to do with what you've been working on. And then that second grand trine, that water grand trine, is on the 19th. That's when this Venus moves into Cancer, and something emotionally fulfills you, but it has to do with your 1st house, 4th house, and your 9th house. So your belief system, where you came from, your understanding, and then your placement in this world. There's a gift coming in that. That's emotional fulfillment. So there's some sort of clarity that's coming to you in this month. Now, the last thing is the full moon in Sagittarius, and then that's our 3rd grand trine. So the full moon in Sagittarius is in your 2nd house. This has to do with your financial security, with how you value yourself, what you're willing to accept, the things that we work hard for, that we're like, yep, that's mine because I worked hard for it, right? That's the value that I put to my identity. So when you have this full moon in Sagittarius, full moons are about letting go. Full moons are about completion. Full moons are about destiny and fate, right? So you could have some things coming through here. That new moon in Taurus is about destiny and fate and moving into the new direction, right? So full moons are about endings and completion, right? So you could be having something happen on this day because you also have that grand trine. So that grand trine is a gift coming to you that's going to have you be passionate. Something that gets you to engage, really engage in life. Not just partially engage, not do it, and then complain about it, right? So that's what I'm feeling for you guys. Again, I'll go over the dates and the specific houses and the aspects that are coming for you guys on my website. That's where I'm going to do those videos. It'll be downloadable. I think it's going to be like $3.99, $4.99. I'm not really sure, but it'll be more detailed. So let's do your spread, Scorpio. I know it's sticking some of y'all, this love thing. But y'all are seeing love, and you should be seeing lessons right now. Okay, so in your first position, this is the Lovers. So, yes, the Lovers card can be about two lovers, two souls joining together, people coming together, a romantic relationship coming together, and see how they look beautiful, and see all that love around, and you see the bonding and the way that they're looking at each other. That could be the Lovers, but that's not what I'm feeling for the Lovers. Now, some of you, I do feel that. I feel like either you just met someone, or you're about to meet someone, or you're really, really looking at your relationship. And that's a good thing. But for others of you, I'll tell it to you this way. This Lovers card to me is a karmic card. The Lovers card to me means that there are lessons when these two people or these two situations or these two things come together. There is a lesson to be learned. And then after the lesson, you decide, both of you decide whether you want to stay or go. That's the Lovers to me. So that could be happening right now because this is your position in May. Okay? Now, your challenge is this Three of Cups. Sorry. So your challenge is this Three of Cups. I see this a couple of ways. The challenge is that some of you have started to begin to receive some things, and that's really good, and then you're going to rest on your laurels. Okay? That means you're not putting any energy into it anymore. You feel like you've gotten as far as you want to get with it, or you've gotten, like you got some things coming through, and you're in the mode of celebrating, right? That's part of it. And that's a challenge, because the challenge is that you have to continue to do it to get to the 10. You're at a 3 right now. You have to continue to do it to get to the 10. Now, for others of you, because I'm seeing this 3 different ways, isn't that funny? For others of you, I feel like these things are coming through and you're not enjoying them. And that's the challenge. If you get to the destiny, if you get to the point that you saw, if you get to these goals that you're trying to meet, when you look back, you're going to realize it wasn't about the goal. It was about the journey. And so that's what Spirit wants to remind you, is don't forget about the journey. Be in your present, be in your now. When things come, enjoy them, appreciate them, do them, engage. But you can look to the future later. We already know what you want, but you have to be in your now too. Okay? Now, for others of you, I feel like if this is relationship, then the relationship is about 3 people coming together. It's about understanding. And that's a challenge, because some of you didn't realize there was a third person. Well, you realize because you're empathic and you're intuitive and you kind of thought, but others of you were ignoring it, and now it's going to come to pass, and that's going to be your challenge. Again, that has to do with that Lover's card over there. It has to do with the lessons that you learn when 2 people come together, or 2 situations come together, or some sort of bonding comes together. There are lessons to be learned. Okay? Now, and remember, Uranus has been there shocking and on everything. Now, this is your fate, destiny card. This is going to come in whether you believe or not. This is just on your path. What I'm seeing is the 10 of Cups, a time of enjoyment, a time of celebration, a time to be able to breathe, a time, and that's coming to you. Again, just because I yelled at you doesn't mean I don't love you. I love you dearly. But maybe it was that shock that caused you to relax, or to take just one of the actions, right? To get you to do what you need to do so that your path can get moving. So the 10 of Cups is, and maybe that's what Spirit's trying to do, is bring in some relief for you, because you're so overwhelmed. I'm seeing that you're so overwhelmed. I'm feeling that you're so overwhelmed. Like, you got yourself in so much stuff and it's not your fault. It's not. There's nobody at fault. But you got yourself in such a big mess that it's so overwhelming that you just rather close the closet door and not even look at it. But if you just open the door a little bit, take one thing out and look at it and focus on it and deal with it, then you can let it go. And then you can open the closet again, take that thing out, and that's what they're saying. Just focus on one thing at a time. We know it's overwhelming. We know you're intense. We know you can feel so much. But focus on one thing, because you are in charge of your mind. And this is where your mind and your heart and your emotions and your soul come together. You can direct that, okay? So you have some very happy times coming this month. You have some relief coming this month. You have some celebrations coming this month. So congratulations. Now, where are you heading? Well, you're heading to the Queen of Swords. So the outcome is the Queen of Swords. Some of you are ready to let go by the end of May. This queen, she's no joke. This queen, she's been through way too freaking much to have people yesing her. She's been through way too much. She's had too many losses. She's understood how to stand on her own and be on her own. And when she has somebody by her, or he, this isn't gender specific for me, this is about the character, she's willing, when she has somebody beside her, it's because she wants them there. She doesn't need anybody. She wants them there, and she appreciates the partnership. She appreciates growing with somebody. She appreciates that. But she has been through losses, and because she's been through so many, she understands how to cut somebody out, let it go, and keep it moving. She knows how to do that. So by the end, Scorpio, I see that you understand there are some people that you're really needing to let go of, and this could be what this is about. And there are others that you understand that you just need to put some boundaries down, and then you move together and grow together. But either way, this is where you're coming to, that space where you're honoring your identity, you're honoring your feelings, you're honoring your emotion, you're honoring your love, and you're understanding that you are worthy enough to love. You're worthy enough to love. Trust me, there is going to be somebody out there for each one of you who has been told for so long that you got to pull it back, you can't say too much, you're way too intense. There is somebody that likes that intensity. There's somebody that's looking for that intensity. And so if you find yourself having to be anybody but who you are, then they're not it. They're just not it. All right, my beautiful ones. I love you, love you, love you. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.